Denczil on Glory 93.9.
What's up, worshipers? You are tuned in right now with Pastor Denczil right here on Glory 93.9 FM.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you are doing well. This is Pastor Denczil here on the radio, Glory 93.9, the freshest wave of glory to hit the everywhere. I can't get my rhythm back. I've been trying to find it back. I can't find it. So the freshest wave of glory, everywhere, anywhere, all around the West. And so glad you tuned in to Glory 93.9 here. And I saw Pastor Vaughn Miller today, Minister of State, Minister of the Environment, and so I gotta say Metropolitan Nassau. Whenever you see Vaughn Miller, there's certain things that come to mind, man. You know, Metropolitan Nassau. Then you think about Just Right Bakery. Certain people think about Douglas Miller and Prisca Burrows and all these certain names.
Right.
You know, I don't think we've had any star maker since Vaughn Miller.
Okay.
Vaughn Miller made stars in the gospel music world.
Yeah.
Like if you were graced, if you got that sword from Vaughn Miller and he celebrates you, you gone. You gone. You gone. Like, I mean, and to be Lawrence Roll.
Oh yeah.
When Vaughn Miller start pushing you on the radio,
Okay, I got you.
Barack, if he start pushing you, he like you. He told us what to listen to. And don't forget now, like we have all these gospel radio stations.
Oh,
We
yeah,
have
the
today.
12:40 a.m.
We had 1240.
Hard and so. Yeah, I got you.
You
I
see,
got you.
so he told us what to listen to.
That is true.
That
much is true.
He told
And
us
they were larger than life.
they
Larger than life.
man, they was life.
Yeah.
But listen, no, you say larger than life. That's right. They were larger than life. They were bigger than life. They were so huge, and so they told us what to listen to. If he didn't tell us listen to it, we didn't listen to it. All the songs we sang was the songs he was playing. The artist he bring to your concert was the one he Massive and Selector and
Got
all
you.
these.
Okay, so he was a big promoter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kevin McKinsey.
Right.
You, Vaughn Miller start calling those names and you go. So I mean, I'm saying Vaughn Miller because that's the one we knew back then.
Right.
He became Minister Vaughn P. Miller, and now he is pastor. Then he became Pastor Vaughn Miller, and now he's the minister, cabinet minister, Vaughn Miller. I saw him today at the what was it? The Energy Summit.
Okay.
I went to the Energy
How
Summit
did it go?
today. I was very impressed with the level of excellence, the level of next level thinking that I saw, just how the production of it.
Love it.
I was very, very impressed. I was asked, I can be honest, I knew nothing about it. And I was asked to go in to do the opening prayer. And I was just like, you know, I get kind of, I don't know how you are. You may be the same way. I get
Just
kind of,
another one.
I get kind of almost offended sometimes when I get called in to do opening prayer. Now, please, believers, don't throw the rock at me. I just don't like them diminishing us to just let's give them something perfunctory. That's Reverend Denczil, that's Reverend Deno, that's Pastor. Okay, y'all come pray and y'all go. Like, you know, and not tapping into the mind that we have and the expertise and all that kind of good stuff. And so, yeah, no, I see him there. Not tapping into all the other elements that we are.
Yeah.
And so for so long, I think preachers were relegated to, all right, come pray, come bless the food, come open the event. All right, then go back, sit down in the corner. So I became kind of turned off by that whole thing. Come pray for this, come pray for that. But I speaking to the people inside this office, and I didn't know. I had no idea of what I just thought it was just a little meeting, one little function in one little room somewhere that they was doing. So when I pulled up and saw the lights and the police and certain people, and I walked into the ballroom and saw that there were exhibitions lining the door and people from all around
Where was
the
it at?
Caribbean and Bahama.
Okay.
Different things from around the world, solar panels and this and that. Or you walking and folks greeting you and all this stuff going on there. And I walk into the ballroom and I was like, oh, this is a big deal.
Yeah, that's big to
That's
do.
a big deal.
Yeah.
But I accepted it though, and let me say this for those who listen so they don't get. My posture was they only invite us for prayer, and I started to think about that. Well, Denczil, all the things you're saying, pray. Pray. Why would you go there as a man of God and thank you for the word so sweet, thank you for the food we eat? If you go in there, they ask you to pray, then pray.
Pray. Because the thing is, too, they know they're calling when they call you.
See, I didn't factor in all that
Yeah.
in the initial.
Yeah.
I didn't factor, and I had a busy day already today. I said, man, I need added to my day. But after I talked to some of my staff members, and one particular is Madam Producer, and they said, man, go man, because you never know. And so I went there as the bishop, but also as the engineer, also as somebody who pay a highlight bill,
Of course.
who needs energy reform in the country.
Of course.
So all of them prayed.
Love it.
The bishop prayed, the engineer prayed, and the Bahamian who need the cost to come down prayed. And I thank God, and I was really glad. I was glad I was there. Like I said, it was huge. And I forgot this young man's. Let me find his name. There was a young man, a primary school student, that did the welcome address, and I just want to highlight this young man. I'll find his name. He's give me 2 seconds. Let me find his name.
What school was it?
I can tell you all that right now. Okay. That's why I want to make sure I give him all his due. He is from Thelma Gibson Primary School. His name is Alan Fox.
Okay.
Alan Fox. Listen to me. This dude was the personification of brilliance.
Yeah.
It was so mind-blowing. Today was his birthday.
Okay.
His mother was there with him. And he did that. And he said one of his lines, he said, as the future prime minister of this country, I am very concerned. I said, boy, talk to me. little man, senior man said, as a future prime minister of this country, when I spoke to his mother, I asked his mother if he mind for me to bless him. So I blessed him for his birthday because he was sitting right there where I was sitting. And when she had a moment, she turned to me and she said, Bishop, she says, when my son was born, they saw traces of autism and this and that and the other, and they said he would never be able to speak, that he will never be able to have control of his mental faculties and all this kind of stuff. And to hear that boy, she said, my son is a walking miracle. To hear the intellectual capacity, the brilliance of this little boy blew me away. And this a little boy who they say he ain't gonna, he would have been somewhere on the spectrum, and he would have this, he would have that, and the other.
Yeah.
So I need to say for somebody out there who they didn't pronounce a death sentence on your child.
Or mute sentence.
Or a mute sentence.
I'm a witness.
Come on, man.
Same thing with my
I don't
son.
know.
My son,
Yes,
same,
you did mention
same
something.
thing. He did. They say, yeah, it's a delay. We took him to the doctor. We took him, and they said they see nothing, whatever, like that. Took him a while to speak.
Right.
But when he started speaking,
Right.
the words that came out of his mouth, he's a boy now. He's only 3, just turned 3 in August. He's able to identify dinosaurs. Never been, I mean, when I say identify, I'm talking about whatever.
Stephanopithecus.
You understand? to that level. I mean, and just off the cuff, he's able to come in here and read whatever
I
word is
remember when you
shown.
told me you was going to the doctor and you had some things,
Right.
and I remember that.
And he is able to read anything he is shown. I mean, I showed him words like pterodactyl. That starts with P, obviously. And
No,
then,
don't say obviously.
But not
I
obviously.
ain't
Yeah.
that
It
smart.
starts with P.
I ain't that smart.
right?
Don't
It
don't
starts
rush me.
with P, and he was able to pronounce that one shot. He doesn't try to sound it out. He just looks at the word, and it does it.
And that's the one who they said might have challenges and this and
Correct.
that. Look at God.
And look at when I look at the educational system, I look at it differently because the thing is, my daughter started reading and everything fast, but she went through the traditional system where they taught her to sound out words and put them together. So now she has to now sound out words to
Right.
get them together. He can just look at it at a glance and get it.
Right.
So
So
it-
she might have sounded that P.
Yeah.
That
She would have
P-
said put
Right.
yeah. But he just said pterodactyl and just went off like he
Come
did
on,
nothing.
Yeah.
He's able to identify dinosaurs as if. So I'm of this view that us who are not on the spectrum are really the odd ones out.
We need to get on the spectrum.
right.
For some parent out there, please hear the words as I talk about. Let me call. I think Alan Folks from Thelma
Folks,
Gibson, Pastor Deno talking about his son, and there are other testimonies, some others in our church. That person said they're on the spectrum, they this and that and the other, and you see what God has done.
Yes, sir.
And I want to say to that parent, your child is probably not progressing as fast as some other children around. They are not responding or reacting or. Don't you dare allow anybody to put no curse on your child by defining your child. When I say
Better
curse,
believe it.
by them, you allowing them to define your child.
Better believe it.
You better speak the life
Matter
of
of fact,
God.
I've got some doctors to take him back to.
Come on here. Yes, sir.
I've got some doctors to take him back to.
Isaiah 8:18 has become a part of my life, where the scripture says, me, I and the children the Lord have given me are for signs and wonders.
Wow.
I and the children the Lord has given me, Isaiah 8:18,
8:18.
are for signs and wonders. And if your child is on the spectrum, you and the children the Lord has given you are for signs and wonders. You got to keep on making that declaration. My child will be for signs and wonders in the earth, for the glory of God. All right, then. Good stuff. So, boy, we had a very interesting week. We talked about this on Barbershop Talk this week about the $10,000. You know, we talked about it like, we told him he was ahead of the curve because we talked about this like 5-6 weeks ago about what is necessary to survive in this country. And they said family of 4, 10,000. I wouldn't do that with Pastor Rickeno yet. Hopefully he'll be here next week. and we can have that conversation. So we broke it down and talked about it, and I think they off. And then they did say that they didn't include insurance. I read the article, and they said they didn't include insurances.
Right. Remember, I told you.
You did say that.
Some people, that's a luxury.
Yeah,
Right?
and I think for a middle class family, I think that to me is part of the definition of being a middle class family.
Yeah.
That you have those insurances.
Yes.
You know. So anyway, we can jump into that a little later on. And then what was the next thing you mentioned that you were asked about?
I was also asked about the persons who were evicted by the social services who were unable to extend their what they considered compassion to persons who were in these homes for more than the 3 months allotted for temporary housing. So persons are saying, well, the government is saying that they now have to strike a balance between compassion and administration. And so they were asking, what's the church's point of view? And I said that I have to do some more study on that, but catch me on Bishop Denczil's show on Thursday, and we'll be speaking to it.
I remember this was at the time of Dorian, and we had a meeting with the then Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Minnis.
Okay.
I was there with members of the Christian Council. And of course, you know that I don't have a church facility, but of course I represent Happy Church of God, where there are persons have church facilities and whatever the case is. And so this is my first time dealing with a natural disaster as superintendent. I've never been to any of those meetings when I was just on executive, so I started asking questions. I said, so, Mr. Prime Minister, what do you need us to do? Do we need to make our churches available? And he says, absolutely not.
Okay.
And I'm saying, Prime Minister, I say, anyway, he of the world, he understand this what the church is for, and you got to let the people, you know, come in, they need to be housed and this and that. And he said, Bishop Denczil, man, your heart is amazing. He says, when you allow them to come into your church, your worship space, and you will have church on next Sunday, how do you tell them to leave?
I got you.
And I didn't you see I come into this conversation now? He says,
got you.
if you tell them, come on.
You got to go. We have to have church.
You let them come in there now. They didn't be through Dorian. They didn't come from Abaco. They didn't come from all different places, and they're looking for somewhere to sleep or whatever the case is. You don't have no hall. You don't have no facility, but all you have is your church. You say, you know what? Man, y'all come sleep in the church. What do you do?
When Sunday morning comes.
When Sunday morning comes and it's time for church.
Yeah.
We tell them stand outside.
Give me 3 hours.
Take your blanket and take your stuff and sit in the back until we finish service and then come back and then.
Yeah.
And I did not think about that. He says, because once you allow them to come in, how do you then put them out? You and I as pastors, you know, and I know you have 45 rental units out there.
Prophesy.
You know.
If you say it, I got it. If you say it, I got it.
Well, my challenge is that, and I'm afraid of it. I was a landlord before, and kind of almost is now, kind of. And why I say kind of is, I'm trying to make sure that I'm not.
Okay.
Because when you are Pastor Deno Cartwright, when you are Bishop Denczil Roll, and that person is 5 months, 6 months behind,
yes, sir.
then somebody can say, where's your heart?
Where's your compassion?
Do you have what was it? Do you have a soul?
Agreed.
You know what? Let's bring in, I got a guest here because we were talking about some other things, but I know that this person can flow with this conversation. This is my brother from another mother,
right.
Pastor E.W. Hayes from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Don't forget, he's Bahamian at the atomic level.
He's definitely a Bahamian at the atomic level. You know, he's dealing deeper realm than us. You know, we still just try to be in this material world.
Right.
No, he going in another realm.
Yes,
Pastor Edward W. Hayes, welcome, my brother.
Man, bless you. My brothers, shalom. Good evening.
Good. Listen, I don't know. Can I get him up some more in here, Marisha? If not, if your device is up, I can. Hey, I know you're clear out there. I believe you're clear out there. But if we can get him up in this guy in the corner here, it sounds good. It's just a little too low for me. Talk again, beloved. You can just talk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. That's a
Okay.
little, I probably take this headpiece off. Brett, now I hot now. We hot. We too hot. We too hot. If we could just turn this up, rather than like come in here and turn it up manually, rather than turning everything up, because it's peaking a little bit inside here. Bring it back down. Still too hot. Bring it down. All right, we can get it sorted in a second, Pastor Hayes.
Yes, sir.
I think you're good. I don't think it's you. I think I just need to do some things in here. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So what do you do in that instance? Like I tell you, for me, I don't want to be the. I don't know if you're hearing this conversation, Pastor Hayes, but with being pastors and talking about being landlords and persons behind on their rent, and that woman, Deno, who got 3 children and got laid off a job, and now she's behind on 5 months on her rent, and then you got to be pastor. You can't be using that rent no more to pay a mortgage.
Got you.
No, forget now that's your income now to pay your bills and to do certain things. You got to forget that, because now you're the man of God, and you must have compassion. So before we get on the government them,
right?
Let's get on us them. What do us them? What do we do in the case where the person is challenged? Life happens, and they in your place. What you do? What you can do, Pastor Dana, with them all the apartments you got on rent? What you can do?
I think what happens is, because we can get torn
What's this
with
deep
that.
answer? What's this deep
We
stuff?
could get torn with that because of our status as pastors.
Right.
So I always recommend persons who get into this venture, open a separate company. Let that company deal with management.
See, you ducking the real issue. So you
let that company deal with.
Of course, I agree. That's what I tell you to do it too. That's
the wise.
That's the word to pastor. But now that's a word to pastor, so they keep the eye clean. But okay, but let's forget that now.
What would you do?
Use the pastor, and they know you's the pastor, and you got some folks them, and they know you's the landlord.
Well, I guess you have to have bowels of compassion. But I mean, it isn't. And this is where you have to.
How do you balance bowels of compassion?
Balance.
I know this is good for you. You can help me, because I as an engineer, I just draw road. How do you balance bowels of compassion and slothful in business?
You can.
Huh?
You can. Both of them are part of the book.
You can, right?
You
say
can.
CAN.
Sorry, you can.
Okay, how you do it? How you do it in this instance?
You should. Now,
how do you do it
in this instance? There are times that you will have to extend bowels of compassion. But in this kind of
that's
instance,
kind of slothful in business, though.
It's rough because I understand exactly what you're saying, but when you go into this mindset that you're in business, that there are some tough decisions you have to make, and this does not infer or does not take away from your Christianity. This doesn't take away from your.
It doesn't take away from your Christianity. Put a woman with her 3 children out in the street.
It doesn't take away from your Christianity. You find something else. You know what? Because I had another answer just now for you. I have another answer just now for you. It will affect your witness. It will affect your witness for true. It will affect your witness. So here's what I say. If it was on me, I would have let them slide.
For how
long?
long?
That's why some of us can't go into business.
For how long you let them slide?
What is reasonable? Let's do with that.
I don't know what reasonable is.
No, I'm saying we have to determine what is reasonable.
Okay.
And we have to determine what is fair. And as Christians, I think that's what we're called to do. Fairness.
Fair's on them.
Fairness and justice.
Fair's on them. For them to be fair. But nobody wants us to be fair.
But that's not right.
They want us, because we must keep them bowels of compassion wide open till they spill all over the road.
No, you should be fair. No, fair. As a Christian, I think what we need to understand is that just because we're Christians doesn't mean that we have the opportunity to be slothful in business, and it doesn't mean that you have to take advantage of us and ride us. We have to now determine what is fair, what is honest. We have to give them reasonable judgment or reasonable time allotment, and then after that is done, justice has to take its course.
What would you say is reasonable?
Reasonable is I would say 6 months.
You think 6 months is reasonable?
You're talking about the passion, what do you call it? The bowels of compassion.
I don't know.
You're talking about the bowels of compassion part.
Listen, I just need to find me two two people per year to rent
Sorry,
from.
I didn't hear that.
Go back, say it again.
I need two people like Deno Cartwright to rent from in 1 year.
You be good.
Every year. Yeah. But that's why my option for people like me, my security is put in the company.
We understand that, and those of us who ain't listening, those who ain't like me, Pastor Deno, who listened, I sure they taking that advice now to put it in the company, right? So we move on to those who don't have that luxury of putting it in the company. Like from when I was actively engaged as a landlord, we had a place that we were renting. I was very actively engaged. When I say actively engaged, because I was living next door. That's what made it worse. That was a little bit too active. So I living right next door, so I'm renting the side next to me.
Gotcha.
1 month. Okay, we good.
2 months.
2 months. Okay, I understand. You know, and in my case, it was the brother was an excellent tenant. He was a really good tenant. I knew it was the end of the month by him.
Okay.
On time, every time. Hit some hard times. And then before I knew it, his rent got up to over $4,000. He was in arrears. Over $4,000.
That's for 5 months.
Over $4,000. Now this is, I need this half of the rent to pay the people in their mortgage,
Understood.
and that's the case of a lot of people.
Yes.
That go in to help pay that mortgage.
Yes.
That ain't a luxury for this mortgage. That's a necessity.
Gotcha.
We need that to
Gotcha.
pay up this mortgage.
Got you.
But then the fellas called me Rev because I is Rev. You know, he see me leaving every first Sunday with my collar on.
Of course. And that's and so you were not only the landlord, you were the neighbor.
I was a neighbor.
I got you. Okay.
See, I ain't just I tell you, I was all up in that. I was neighbor.
Okay, I got you.
They hand prayer meeting next door. They seeing our show, but at that time he was on cable 12. They watching us on Sunday morning on cable 12.
Yeah.
Hey, you put them out.
How did you deal with that?
Put them out.
But they understood.
You
See,
got
the thing is, they
you
understood.
got to go.
They understood because you gave them fair and reasonable time.
I sure they understood. I still
Well-
get my buddy yet.
Oh, wow.
I get
Oh, you in.
I get them.
You don't get that, Bishop.
You think I know? I had to go to the Lord's Prayer, forgive our debtors. Forgive our debtors as we forgive them. I had to let that go. I couldn't sleep if I had to let it go.
Wow.
You know, so before we get on the I still need Rachel to give me a little more past the haze. But I don't. Those of you online, I mean, y'all help me. How do we deal with that? Because it's easy for us to go slap the government.
It is.
But if it was you,
Yeah.
if it was you, and so you were supposed to get temporary housing from the government.
Correct.
Some and a lot of instances, based on what I understand, they give them a term, a time period.
Yeah. It's a 90-day time period.
Right. I think 90 days is the max, right?
Yes.
Because I think it could be less. It can be
Up to 90 days.
it could
correct.
be up to 90 days. So I mean,
Correct.
you could be given 3 weeks, you can be given a month, whatever the case is.
That is correct.
And so when I heard people talking about it and getting all emotional about this and getting all riled up, I was like, boy, there's more to this story. This ain't as easy as it is. And I think anybody that is being a landlord must be able to sympathize with brother government. And if you ever see the lines at social services, the amount of people that need help.
Need this, and I think that's where they were too. Because if you use it for 3 months, but even the bigger issue, Bishop, is what is underlying in this country. I often told persons after the pandemic, there was the health crisis part of it was a small part.
Right.
The emotional and the financial part of the crisis is what we're now experiencing, and there's a whole lot more people who are living in cars, living outside of where they are. And I've seen this, to be quite honest, I've seen persons over the course of the past several months on the side of the road asking for assistance, and it's always the same story. They were in these temporary housing. After 3 months, some of them were there for 7 months, and they got kicked out. And then they have nowhere to go, nothing to do, and then we have to look at everything, and then probably the government can introduce things like rent control, and we can introduce things like jobs and livable wages. I think this is where that entire conversation comes in. But beyond that, I believe that we have to now look at bigger issues that are symptomatic in our society. That we've got a whole lot of people who are unable to make ends meet. And we're going to see, unfortunately, more of this. And we have to put in place measures to help these people.
Pastor,
And then I don't. Go ahead.
Question. Because I mean, he started off answering that question real good, and I think he left us again. Because the question is, what would you do as the landlord? Am I correct?
Right.
That's correct.
As a pastor and the landlord.
Well. May I put two questions in there and then add a little scenario?
Go ahead.
Okay. Number one is it your member living in the apartment? And
Can you bring your mic up? Where's your mic?
it's
Or
in
using the device mic?
It's in the computer. I don't have a separate.
Oh, you don't have a separate mic. Ah, okay, I see that because we haven't. Can your mic go any louder? Because right now we causing a lot. We have a lot of ring. Just trying to get us sorted out. If you could get a mic or something that you can put a mic set that you can put close to your headset, that you can speak directly
Give me
into
a
the mic.
second here.
Okay. Because you have to bring us down. This is crazy. Yeah.
Is this any better? 1 2 1 2 testing 1 2.
You want in that mic set? Yeah.
One,
Try to
two,
get
three.
set the mics up so you can be in there. So again,
Something came up just now.
we lost you. We lost it. Play with it again. All right, so we can try to get this connection sorted out with Pastor Hayes as we go back to this, because I really want to finish this conversation here, and get some more. And he was about to ask 2 questions. I want to hear his questions, but I'm gonna let producer take him off and see if we can fix that. Let's take him off for a second, see if we can fix that, and then we can keep on going. All right, so and then of course, now back to you with this whole idea with the government thing, because we believe that the government has an inexhaustible supply of funds.
Yeah.
The government money don't run out.
That's what we believe.
That's what we believe. Yeah, they get money
Just
like
print more.
They get money like exactly.
Print more. You run out,
money
print more.
money like train spoke. Hold on 1 second.
And I think that's where a lot of people put this expectation on government to take care of them, and that's why governments should be careful also about pushing a socialist agenda, where persons have this expectation,
Right.
that they ought to be able to take care of them, because really it is the job of the government to ensure that the infrastructure is there for the prosperity of its people.
Right.
So they make sure that the roads, the hospitals, everything is there and there. But beyond that, make sure legislation is there so that those who are able to make a better life for themselves can make a better life for themselves.
Right.
Now, of course, there'll be people who fall in the bucket of hard times, but this is not the full role of the government. And, we had a discussion yesterday, and I don't think we need to get into that now at church, about what is the role of the church in all of this. How do we balance dealing with the poor and also managing what the role of the church is?
What is the role of the church in all? What is the role of the church in all of this? Because somebody, of course, whenever you talk like this, somebody can come. But where's the church? Where's the church?
Yeah.
Right where we've been all along. We didn't move.
Right.
What is, and I think we need to ask that question. What is the role of the church? When God, let me help them who can go to the scripture. When God says, "I was naked, you fed me. I was naked, you clothed me. I was hungry, you fed me." Mm-hmm. Who was He talking to? Was that to the individual, or was that to the was that the job of the church, or was it the job of the people? Was that the job? Yeah, I know. We like to say that sounds cute, but was that an assignment to Bethel Church,
To the institution.
or was it to the people of Bethel?
Got you. To Christian people.
The Christians that we raise up in our local churches.
Agreed.
You see what I'm saying? I think that's a delineation that we need to make, and we can't allow the carnal to get us caught up and get us down in this down one rabbit hole that we shouldn't be in. We need to make sure that we establish what the lines are. That he says that they asked, when did you see us naked? I was so blessed as I found out that my people were becoming more and more Christian, my membership. Because a lot of people were coming back and saying that the church bought them furniture and the church bought them a bed and bought this one, that, and gave them a house. I had no clue. Because it never came out of the finances of the church.
Correct.
It never came before the board of the church. There were members of the church who found out this person had a challenge, and they actually spoke to other church members and asked them to help. Pastor, are you back? Are you better yet? Let's see what we got now.
Let's see. I hope so.
So I guess we can do that. We can do that. That ain't too bad. If Richie can bring it up a little bit for me, we'd be good.
That's the
that's
best
way
I
better
got
than
right
before.
now.
Oh man, that's whatever you did this now. If you could stay there.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's significantly better. Yeah, I was making that point that we like to talk about the people are the church and the church are the people. But to me there needs to be some measure of clarity given to that. That this thought is, where's the church in this? The church needs to build more shelters. The church needed this, and the church. I don't always jump on that bandwagon, and I'm not afraid of people coming to attack Pastor Denczil for saying this, because we know those who know life what we're saying and know what we do. So I ain't trying to beat my drum about what life is do to help persons. So I'm saying this with a very, very clear conscience and a very clean hands, because I know what our church does on a regular. But I don't think we should allow society to pressure us into becoming
A soup kitchen.
To reduce us. I thank God for the grace of a Prophet Lawrence Road.
Yes.
I thank God for his grace and what he is doing. And our church supports what he's doing. I'm not saying, we don't just pray for him. We support what he's doing. Okay. We support Bishop Hanchel.
Yeah.
We support
Great Commission.
Great Commission. We don't just pray, we support. But when persons come, more y'all need to be doing what Prophet Roll doing. No, we don't. If that's not what God has called us to do, that's not the role of the church. That's an assignment that God has given to Lawrence Roll. Don't confuse the assignment that God has given to Prophet Lawrence Roll to say that Deno and Denczil need to be doing the same thing and Pastor Hayes need to be doing the same thing. That's the assignment that God has given to them. That's a burden that God has given to Bishop Hanchel.
Yes.
And an assignment, but I did this broad brush approach, and people probably hearing this getting offended, how the church need to do more and the church need to do more. No, you can't. Don't give me your assignment.
But what they must understand too is that even as the church does more, as you said that they have that particular assignment, there's a grace that goes to that assignment as well.
Of course.
If you and I try to do like soup kitchen every week, I don't know how they do it on their end, but if we try to do it on every week, we'll break up. We'll break up as a church. But chance your role may be to raise up institutions to teach persons how not to get in poverty. But chance another church's role in the kingdom of God is actually to go about and provide grants for persons who are entrepreneurs to help them not to go into that. And then these entrepreneurs, when they're raised up, they now go in. When we look at Isaiah chapter 60, the Bible says Jesus preached this message of liberating the captive and helping those who are poor. But these same persons he preached to, a couple of verses down in verse 4 or 5, it says that they went into the desolate places. They went into the broken down places.
That's really good.
They went into the ruins and they built those places up, recovered those places. It's the people who went back in those areas and did what they did. They came to the house. They got the word.
Right.
That's what Isaiah 61 and 1 says. They got the word. Mm-hmm. The word got them liberty. The liberty they got now release them back into those communities they came out of to build those back up. And I think a lot of persons like to cast that responsibility on the church institution without taking that responsibility on them. What am I called to do in my space, in my area, in my little circle to help to build the communities that I'm in?
Go ahead, Pastor. Look at you and jump in.
No, I'm just listening. One of the things that
I love about the Bahamas is, and I'm kind of moving back to where we were before. If the person or persons is not a member of your church, whose church are they a member of? Because in Bahamas, you're not that far from, or that far removed from having a home church or family church.
Yeah.
So if they're there, if they're in that position, you ask them what, who is their pastor, so forth and so on. And in the Bahamas, I believe you can go to their pastor and ask their pastor to lend some kind of assistance. And that would help hold their feet to the fire a little bit more.
It's noble.
Am I reaching?
Yeah.
You're stretching.
If you're reaching, you're definitely stretching. Yeah,
that's the confidence I have in the Bahamas.
Say again?
That's the confidence that I have in the Bahamas.
Yeah, I mean, and let me say it. I know in the church I pastor, you come and you ask for assistance. You're going to sit before a group of people who are going to talk with you and find out what's going on.
Okay.
You're going to have to answer some questions.
Okay.
People said, "Oh, that ain't right. They in need." No, go to your church then. These are my members in my church, and this is what we do in our church. And we find out what's going, because we are here to empower you and preach the gospel so that your life is changed. And so giving you $25 doesn't change your life. It actually helps you to get more problem. And if you're in the hole $5,000 and we give you $5,000, in most, or a lot, most times they just want a loan. Let me $5,000. I still pay you back. If you got behind $5,000, where you gonna find the $5,000 for you to pay us back and still for you to catch up and then go? Where you gonna find it from? So we then have you sit down with persons that actually talk about where you spending, what are you doing, because we see you wearing Gucci.
Okay.
We see how your hair and nails all do up, boys. Is a brethren. I see you always getting a new pair of Air Force Ones. And your Air Force Ones, they sharp, they jam it. So we can have that conversation with you. As it comes to how you get here. And I tell persons, if you see, because when you come and asking for something, when they ask for their money, when they come to church for money, they asking for their own money. No, they're not. No, this God's money. This is God's house. The church ain't an ASU. The church ain't a retirement fund.
So you don't put it in and then.
No, this is no bank. And if you want it to be a bank, stop giving. Please don't give no more. Because I apologize because I misinformed you. I actually made you to believe that the church was a savings plan.
Right.
And I say that if that's what you want your church to be, don't give anything. Please don't give anything in this church. Just come and enjoy the word. Have a wonderful time. Keep your money. Because once it is given here, when you give here, we are actually
It's consolidated fund.
And the thing about it is, it ain't our fund, it's his fund.
Yeah.
Because I always teach that you don't give to
money
life,
back
you give
or
through life.
anywhere else that you give.
All right.
I can't hear.
I said you can't get money back to the Red Cross or United Way or anywhere else. You can't go back and tell them, listen, I want my money back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And even more so and that's why I'm so intentional in our church, and I hate to make this about life so much, and that's why I can pull Deno back in right now. That so it's not misunderstood that you give into this church. Like you're giving here secures your this and secures your that. No. If you don't trust us as bank tellers for heaven, because that's all we are. If you don't trust this institution as a certified branch, like when I go into First Caribbean Harbor Bay, is because I trust them to be certified by First Caribbean Global, whatever it is, that this is an authorized branch of this operation.
Agreed.
And so First Caribbean, Harbor Bay don't have my money. They only the conduit through which my money goes to the people them. Because you can't sue Harbor Bay. If Harbor Bay do something and lose their money, you don't sue Harbor Bay. You don't sue the branch really does not exist. Preach good, Denczil. Or you use a banker, you can help me. RBC and them, they don't exist. RBC headquarters got to now cover if the bank get robbed.
Agreed.
It ain't the branch we got to cover that.
Yeah. Or even if you get robbed, there's insurance by the central bank, who is the regulator.
And
If we
so
want to go that route as well. So
even going further. So you give
Yeah.
through them, but you
Yeah.
give to this operation. And in the body of Christ, you give through the local church, but you give to God.
Okay.
And so if you are not let me get you one more time, Pastor Ace. Let me see where we at now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can you hear me now?
it's better.
Look, I'll have good time.
Say again?
I'll
You
have
do
good
what?
equipment next time.
Please.
No, it's better though.
I'm
I
shopping
can hear him
tomorrow.
better.
Tomorrow.
I can
Yeah.
hear him. Yeah.
So so I think that's one of the misconceptions that I think we need to clear up as pastors,
Okay.
so that people so that they can appreciate what it is that they're giving to, what it is that they're part of, what it is that they're doing as the church. When you give to the church, so you can appreciate exactly what is happening.
So then when they give to this local church, what should be their expectancy from the church? I mean, if they are consistent and if they are your member, they've given the right hand of fellowship, they are the member of the church, they go into that, they go through hard times. Should there be maybe not to the level that they've given, but should there be an expectation on them that they should be assisted?
We're Christians.
Okay.
We have the love of God.
No, I want us to clarify that.
Yeah,
The person don't think that
that's
we're
a
just
very good
giving to
question.
a black hole, and that we should not have any expectation to get it back through that entity that we would have given to.
I want to be careful how I answer that.
Okay. And
You know,
I'm not talking about to the level that you've given, but I'm talking about at least some semblance of assistance, even if not in money back, but at least even if we just, I don't know.
No, I see you trying to fix it. And I know you asked a very valid question. It's a very, very
No, I know.
valid question.
But I mean, it may not be in money back, but it could be maybe in a voucher, maybe in something like that. But should there
and
be
I know
expectation?
persons struggling with what there are persons probably even in the body probably pastors who struggling with what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
But I think we have to be careful that we don't allow the people that we love to make us carnal.
Okay.
What is carnal? When you carnal is not spiritual,
Okay.
and we have to be careful. And I can say this, and since to the chagrin of the D people, we gotta be careful that we don't become too heart driven. Because because heart speaks to your feelings and your emotions. You can get so feelingsy and so emotional that you don't hear the Spirit of God.
Okay.
I think it's the role of the church to always be Spirit led. Now, of course, we miss it, and we miss it. I miss it. You miss it a whole lot less than I do. I miss it a lot. But the intent should be that we are Spirit led.
How do we reconcile this then with Acts 2:42 when it said that those who had in excess sold what they had so that there was no need in the house?
But the whole idea of the Acts 2 text was that they were a Spirit-led church.
They were. They were.
So you can't. I mean, the everything the Bible talked about, they were that there was witness to the miraculous, there was witness to the power of God, there was witness to everything that they was doing, and that part about people jump on that part and they skip the part where the first part that talks about how the power of God was so manifesting. It was a Spirit-led movement. It was birthed by the Spirit of God.
Agreed.
And governed by the Spirit of God. And so what I'm saying is that rather than this idea, what do we say? But this was hurt. This one is whatever. We ought to be led by the Spirit of God. The fruit of the Spirit is love. So that means we're gonna have to be driven by love. But what I just want to make sure that we don't create a mentality where there is this entitlement.
Agreed.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That there's this sense of entitlement that because I go here, y'all better do for me. And I'm afraid of that, of how we feed that kind of thinking, and we develop our people with that entitlement mindset as though this is your burial society.
And the interesting part too is that
I saw if it's a burial society.
The thing too is that when you develop that kind of spirit in there too, then persons believe that they can lead or should lead because of the level that they give as well. And because you have had churches where they've appointed deacons and deaconesses and ministers based on their tithing and their giving record. And we've seen too where that, if they're not spirit led, that's also led to a bunch of conundrum in the church as well.
Because if you start doing it with the money,
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yep.
you know where our money is, also our treasure. So if you making concession with the money, then
Yeah.
of course I want to have a say about who doing this, and I want to have a say about this, and I want to say about that.
Agreed.
And again, we are fallible. We miss as leaders. We
Yeah.
don't want to say like we're the end all be all and we're the only one spiritual in the world. No, we just fall off. We just miss.
Agreed.
But I think we have to always, that should be the mark that we're pressing toward. And we ought to keep that as the standard for which we are thriving towards. And if we can't make that,
That we are spirit led.
we got to be we're spirit led. Again, and those persons, and I don't need to defend our track record. Of the persons, we hired staff, and I tell people, I always say this, and I said it to the glory of God, that we hired staff in COVID. We actually brought somebody full time to just help people, to feed people, to make sure people's getting groceries. And people in Montel Heights, not just in our church, but people in Montel Heights and all around that we were giving out. Their job every day was just giving out food, giving out groceries. So we do that. That's what we do as the church. But I think we got to be careful when we get defined as being as a person's joined with expectation. There was a lady that came to our church at one point, and she was talking about her challenges with the bank, and she heard this. She heard that life was a giving church,
Got you.
and she was having challenges with the bank, and she was having this and that, and so she's so glad she come to this church. She said, "You all have a heart," and this. And I said, "No, ma'am." I said, "That's what you come here for. You come for the wrong reason." I told her that, and she didn't come back.
She ain't come back.
No, because I saw it. When she talked about how she, and she done being here and being there, and these churches ain't got no heart, and I tell them my situation, and they ain't letting me this, and they ain't get. I said, "Oh, that's why you join Life?" No, you might as well put us on that list too. Put us on that list of churches you get no heart, because you're coming here with the expectation that I know we can start here, then go to something else, and then go to something else, and go to something else. That's not what the church is.
Got you.
That's not what the church is, and we continue to give, we continue to love on people, shoot, we bought I was so proud this year. Thank God we bought a car out of plastic this year. We bought someone a brand new car, not a new car to them, but a brand new car out of plastic, smell like new.
Got you.
I felt so proud as a pastor we was able to do that, and we can keep on doing those kind of stuff. But let's do that was a spirit led thing, actually as well. That was spirit led.
Okay.
So yeah. Now, but that's the church now. But the brother government ain't spirit led.
No, they are balance sheet led, and they have the obligation now to meet the masses.
Is the government balance sheet led?
I mean, they should be. They should be. When I say
balance sheet, which sheet do you mean? Balance sheet or ballot sheet? Which one they led by?
Both. Both of them. But I mean, when I say balance sheet led too, they have to look at their numbers. They have to look at their income. They have to look at who they can sustain and how many people they can sustain, as many people as they can sustain as they can.
I think that statement is idealistic, but I think it's false.
Go ahead.
I don't think governments are balance sheet led.
Okay. What are they?
And that's the problem.
Oh, well,
That the problem is that we don't, and I'm blaming them, I'm blaming us.
No, I got you.
We don't allow them to be balance sheet led.
When I say balance
We
sheet
want
led,
them to be ballot sheet led. I vote for you.
You do
You
something
better
for me.
take care of me.
yeah.
And I think that is the problem, and that's
No, but
why.
I think in this instance they are balance sheet led because they have to kind of evict them.
they trying
so
to
that
be
they
balance sheet led, and that's why they getting problems.
can- okay.
I bet you,
Yeah.
I think now that they trying to be balance sheet led, no.
That's what the problem is. You
This
know
is-
why I put you
This
here?
is Sparta.
And I ain't put the other people here because they ain't got no heart like y'all.
We ain't put you there to be led by no balance sheet.
Don't forget 2 years coming up.
What? No. I have a ballot sheet coming up,
Right.
and I got something for you.
And I get 5 people in my house.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I didn't put you here to be led by no numbers. I ain't had nothing but the budget and this, and we didn't outdo, and we had more people. That ain't my problem.
No.
You see my
print
look,
ball.
look at that. You see that yellow? You see that shirt there? The yellow shirt?
Oh,
You see the crab?
oh.
No,
You see-
no, no.
You see Zelinda picture on my wall?
Oh, come on, man. I don't want to hear nothing but no. But you trying to balance sheet? No. And that's part of it. But the way to get you and your balance sheet around me, get on my, sorry, and get out your house. 'Cause this is really your house. You better get out your house that you give me.
Yeah.
I think that is we have to address that elephant in the room. Now, of course, it's always a challenge as to how. And even when I saw a video online, somebody put online about this person who was getting evicted at night. My daddy had apartments my whole life. I don't talk fast. I don't see a lot of things.
Yeah.
I didn't see a lot of things, and there's sometimes if you want to evict somebody, if you don't get them out, your best do is get them out at night. No, I didn't see some things.
Why? What's the why? What's
Because
the
they
rationale?
hiding, they ain't coming home.
I got you. Okay.
Oh, come
Okay.
on, man.
Okay.
They ain't
I
coming
know
home.
I know some banks do it too for their things, for their
Yeah.
cars.
And of course, when you catch the landlord going to the house at the night, this old heartless, no good landlord. That's we can go straight to directly. But the reason the landlord, because the landlord being asking you to move, and you say, Mr. Cartwright, I understand and I appreciate you so much. I love you so much, Mr. Cartwright, because you really was a good man, and you and your wife, y'all really was nice to us, and I appreciate you. And so just give me until Wednesday. I can be gone. That's waiting for my cousin. He had to work in his truck and everything like that. And so now next week, Friday. Man, what happened, man? Like, yes, you're still here. And, man, listen, my cousin was supposed to move the stuff, and he tell me he was coming to move the stuff. And
but the truck break down.
and then the place we moving to, it ain't ready yet. Yeah. It ain't ready yet. If you could just please, man, I even feel bad asking you. But can you give me at least till next week Thursday, and we could be going. So now they stop answering your calls now, and they still there. They still there. You go knock on the door 5 o'clock, nobody answering, nobody home. You don't hear nothing what's going on. And so you got camera set up. You got somebody. You tell the next neighbor, listen, let me know when they get home. They call you, so they just pull up. And that's 11:30. Yeah. Got them.
They know. I heard stories where people used to park their car up the corner.
Yeah.
And then walk home because the bank come for that car. Yeah.
Man, come on, man. Come on. So and I'm not saying this is what happened. Y'all please listen to me. Don't take this message wrong. I don't know what happened in these instances. And I actually I'm glad when I saw the interview with the minister, I'm glad the minister didn't go into details, and he was very brilliant to not do that. You don't do that because these people lives.
Yes.
So you don't want out nobody. And
No,
some
you
people was complaining saying he didn't say more. No, you cannot say more.
No, you cannot say more.
He should not. You don't want to put people on.
And-
People
and
already
they
going
never
through
say
rough times. If you walk through the social service door, it's because you need help.
Yes.
You don't want all your business up in the street.
Yes.
But all I'm saying is, not having all the information, I do have an appreciation for midnight evictions, for late night evictions. I have an appreciation because they're by 6 o'clock in the morning, they're gone.
They gone. You guys got to go to work. No, but see, Bishop, but if we look at the bigger issue, though, these are real people dealing with real issues, and we have to find solutions for them as the church. Not saying that we have to do that route that we said that we have to build houses or whatever like that, but we have to figure out what we have to now create systems whereby we can have to empower our people. And empowerment doesn't mean I see you twisted up your mouth. Empowerment doesn't necessarily mean we give them a handout, but we have to figure out ways how we can empower our people, whether it's by creating new systems, whether it's by creating clubs and investments with in and among ourselves. We have people who are dealing with real issues, and we can't just turn a blind eye. Let's talk. More than talk. Let's talk. I see you. What happened? You have a... What happened?
Pastor Deno,
Yes, sir.
I agree with what you just said. Pastor Deno, I have, as you have, seen so many people walk through our doors
We have.
unemployed,
We have.
need to find work. And I have not met one of them who have not been able to find a job.
Okay.
I may be in a vacuum somewhere. But as we preach the gospel to them, they build faith. I am pausing, looking around my congregation, and trying to find the one that has not found something to do, who wanted to find something to do,
Agreed.
or who has not started a business and is doing very well. I have not found that person, and this way I know I can get in trouble. But I think this gospel that we take for granted, if we preach this gospel to people and preach this faith to them and this good news of the kingdom of God and give them the sense that, no, I will get a job, I will find a job, there are jobs, because people getting hired every day. But people, this is the part we don't talk. See, if anybody said you have faith for it, people are getting hired every day, Pastor Deno. Every day. Bishop, I calling you, where the jobs at? People are getting hired every day. I got a text from I get them regular. I had a member text me today. Said, Bishop, I need you to pray for me because I got to figure out which one of these ones I can take. Had a young lady, things didn't work out for her with her school, and she was off to school. She had to come back home early. I think she's like 19, 20, and we're believing God for her to get. She interviewed for this job, believing to get this job. Went on 2 interviews. Now she said, Pastor, I didn't get the job that I didn't want. Not the job that I wanted. They didn't call me in the last 10 days.
So what do I do? Yeah.
So what do I do? And I'm not saying it's going to happen in 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, but I just believe, and you ain't gonna make me unbelievers. I believe that there is work out there for you to get.
Okay.
And this is also from the person as big. I was never small. I was big all my life. Big grown me for a season sold suntan lotion at Crystal Palace pool deck.
Got you. Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yes, I did. I sold suntan lotion, my brother, on the pool deck of Crystal Palace. Big grown me. Me. It wasn't rev yet.
No.
But I was
But
playing
you
I
was-
was playing
you
the
was
weddings.
round the
I was
pool?
doing
Got you.
little choir stuff. Didn't do Baraka was just starting. I was selling suntan lotion on the pool deck. Yes, sir. Met Jimmy Johnson, Robert Parrish, met all them. Crystal Palace was all we had then.
Yeah.
Atlantis was just starting to get the act together.
Yeah.
So Crystal Palace was smoking. Everybody's on
That
Crystal
was
Palace.
it.
Steve Harvey, them, all them was on the pool deck.
Okay.
I was selling suntan lotion. So there is work out there to get.
There is. There is.
There's work out there to get.
No, but at the same time, that's what I'm saying. Churches should. This past week, I was part of a press conference where the Organization for Responsible Governance is now putting together this map for good that kind of maps now people, because people may not know. Like you said, the jobs are out there, opportunities are out there, but they just don't know. And so I believe that this is, and I was there representing the faith-based organizations, and then you had Hands for Hunger there representing the non-for-profits. So just kind of creating this collaboration. And that when I say churches ought to do something, I'm not just talking about giving money, whatever, but just making ourselves have access and accountability to help persons to know where to go, what to do. Like you say, jobs out there, people may not know where to find them.
When we do, of course, I'm sure it's the same in your chat, your church chat. There's when we hear about job opportunities, we put them inside the church chat.
Of course.
We have groups that we put stuff
Of
in,
course.
right?
Of
But
course.
I honestly, I think if we continue to preach the gospel to build faith,
I got you. No, I totally agree.
believe we sleep on that. I think we sleep on the power of that gospel to build faith.
I totally agree. This year we preached on abundance and prosperity, and it's shifted our church. And so I totally agree that when this gospel is preached, that it has to have manifestation in our congregations, in the lives of our people.
We had a lady, and I didn't call her name, but a lady in our church that had made us feel so. We were so moved, and the Spirit of God gave us direction to help her because she has a job working at the airport, doing well, making things happen. But her dream is, this is so crazy, but her dream is to have her own hot dog stand.
Got you.
That's her dream. She talks as she was trying to get her business. Her testimony some months ago, 2 months ago in church, tears in tears.
Uh-huh.
So when she held up her business license.
Wow.
She ain't get no hot dog stand, she ain't get no bun, she ain't get no hot dog.
But she got a business license.
She had a business license and she
Yes, sir.
cried that she gave her testimony in church with her business license.
Wow.
And thanks be to God.
She got a hot dog
She
stand.
is now in search. She has the money now to purchase a hot dog stand.
Awesome.
That's the power of the gospel, babe. And so, yes, we need to be. I mean, I think because the church, people forget this part. We're a community, and when you build community, things will happen organically.
As it should.
Things happen organically in a community. That when there,
As it should.
when you cry, I cry.
Yeah.
When you get extra mango, I get a mango.
Yeah.
When your pear tree overripen, we can get some pear at church.
Yeah.
That's the natural flow of the that's the human ethos. That's who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And as we build communities, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I think we I'm not knocking this argument about us, about this us being the helping hand, the extended hand, and touching our brothers and sisters. But I just want to make sure I feel like it's being pushed too far overboard, and we forget. And in the midst of that, we are starting to major in the minor. And we Jesus says, he says, money, that's not even true riches.
Yeah.
He said,
Money is the lowest form of wealth.
He said that
Yeah.
that's y'all tripping over money. That even ain't true riches, man. There's some other things I want to show y'all. This person asked a question here. Heather, hi Heather. Heather says, isn't there a portion in scripture where everyone had everything in
Yes,
common?
Acts 2:42.
That's the scripture that Pastor Deno mentioned too. They had all things in common, but they was coming in and they were throwing everything at the apostles' feet.
Yes, sir.
Come on here, Grace.
Receive.
I
But
know,
I mean,
right?
but this ties into what you said earlier about just being the conduit or the branch.
Yeah.
They understood that this was the branch, these were the branch managers, and they brought their funds there. And however the apostles distributed, that's what they got. You some of the apostles then gave themselves over to the ministry of the prayer. Then they gave it to the deacons to do.
Yeah.
But that's what it was. And when you look at the text, the ones who and if you really look at it, when the Bible talks about true and undefiled religion, it really only points out the widows and the orphans,
Right.
not en masse.
Right.
So I kind of lose my own argument here, what I was talking about earlier.
you
But
just
hey,
Thanks.
it gave to those who were marginalized. So essentially, look at those marginalized who were not there to help themselves, and these persons were given to the work of ministry because they were not getting married anymore and all that kind of stuff. So they were dependent on the church.
But watch this. Watch this. And even that, this is show you when you glory to God. When you
Yeah, to qualify
make
to be a widow too.
When you make that reference
Yeah,
to not you as in Deno, but the reference to they had all things common and they were sharing the wealth and all this kind of good stuff. What was so potent was when in Acts 7 when Peter said, "Hold on, y'all tripping, because right now y'all trying to make us carnal. Because now you got these Grecian widows."
yeah.
Oh, y'all come into church robbing, but soup. I ain't had no soup this week, and I ain't getting
Right.
no grocery this week. But Peter said, "Y'all hold on, wait a minute.
Y'all got me for some question.
Y'all got me for soup kitchen. y'all mixing me up." Peter said, "Don't mix me up. I need to be given to the word and prayer. Come
Yeah.
on here, Lord. I need to be given to the word and prayer. We used to do that, but that ain't what our job is.
No,
Don't mix this up.
no.
Don't mix this up, because there came a spirit of entitlement."
Yes, sir.
And when you see pastor around here preaching and I ain't get my soup. Pastor around here preaching and I ain't get my bread. Peter say, hold on. Y'all back up.
Yeah.
Because y'all running all the way out. and I preached that to one pastor's thing I did one time, and people was fighting. They was in the midst of race riots. And Peter said, "I get a time for that."
Wow.
They was having, because don't forget it was a group of the Grecians saying that
Yeah.
y'all
Y'all give more to them.
y'all racist.
Yeah.
y'all carry
Yeah.
favor.
Because
They had all kind
because
of,
I'm from Greece, y'all didn't want to give me as much as
they had major infighting going on inside the church.
yeah.
And Peter says, "I ain't get time for row.
No.
I get time to. I need to be saying what I need to hear what is their word from the Lord. And y'all go finish. I ain't get time to play with y'all. Y'all go being immature, want food and this and that.
Talk deep.
Yeah, go talk deacon." Deke, go deal with that. Let me go finish, go pray, because I got to
Let
work.
me hear from the Lord.
And I think that is their critical. I don't think we solved this problem for the government yet. Bro, y'all who won't be politicians, y'all go ahead, yeah? Somebody said they saw me, said, Lord, tell them that I'm supposed to be a politician. I said, I don't know who that Lord is who tell you that, but that ain't the one I serve.
But Bishop, it's a bigger systemic issue that we have to realize that it's bigger than this. There are other things in our systems that has to be fixed. There are other things, and what we see with these situations are just the top of the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
That these are bigger systemic issues that are bigger than government. It takes everybody, the church included, to be a part of this problem solving for the nation, and we have to actually realize that.
What do you mean when you say? I mean again, and that's powerful. I agree.
A lot of times we figure that dealing with these issues is just feeding these people today and that, or giving them this temporary housing today, and that fixes the problem. No, there are deeper systemic issues that the nation has, starting at the education level.
Yeah.
Starting at preparing these young people to be able to come out of school with a sufficient degree or sufficient education to make a life for themselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes the government opening the economy so the persons who want to be able to invest can invest and get the necessary capital. So these are bigger systemic issues that we keep scratching off and giving them a little turkey here, a little ham there. But there has to be a bigger discussion or a big conversation that we have to have. When we talk about the church, I'm talking about not just calling us, like you said, to pray for the event, but to bring our minds toward the event and help to build a better, sustainable future. People are going into poverty because energy prices are high. That's because persons are sitting around the table to talk about energy reform and to push things ahead because of either political issues or whatever other issues that is causing us not to make the necessary hard decisions concerning energy. So we'll just continue with 5-year cycles. We'll just continue with putting this person in when we're tired of them, vote them out. Put the next person in, vote them out. Persons are just pacifying the issue and not dealing with those hard issues. Like education, like energy, like sustainable living, like sustainable development goals. We aren't talking about these things, but this is what makes nations great.
There are a lot of things that are in place, and not just this government, but former administrations. And I believe that Jose's scripture is so real.
Mm-hmm.
It is so relevant to more than just the word of God. People are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Yes, sir.
That there are programs, there are systems, there are things in place that from several administrations back to back that we're just ignorant to.
Yeah. We are not aware.
That there needs to be more done, yes. Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of programs, there are a lot of these, one of the small business development thing, that
yes,
program.
Sir.
I know of
yes,
persons that got assistance.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't even know the program existed. Persons who got 3,000-4,000 here, 5,000 here, that literally saved their little business.
Even Ministry of Youth as well, they have a program where they give grants on a consistent basis every year. And I should know this because I sit as a co-chair,
absolutely.
Right? I should know this, right?
Yeah, you should know this.
Yeah, these are the starter programs where persons are coming in, even if they are not young people. Sometimes there are some things that are for persons who are not necessarily in that age bracket that they get these. They call a fresh start program.
Yeah.
That help persons to start their business. But again, you have to be able to sit in the classes, learn how to write grants, learn how to write pitches, learn how to write these various things, learn how to read a balance sheet. Learn how to understand assets, liabilities, capital. And this is what the church now needs to speak to. This is a part of us helping to deliver this generation. And so I agree with you that these things are available. Persons just don't know.
My mom taught us, say, when you get raw meat, you get go find fire. That's what my mother always said when we were young. So
Thank God for Laura, yeah.
Laura said, when you get raw meat, you better go find fire.
Yeah.
And I think part of what the church needs to do is push people to go find fire.
Yes, sir.
Because a lot of people want the fire to come knock on your door.
Right.
I was blown away when I went through the BAIC.
Uh-huh.
That's them who was there in the by the NCA, right? In the
Yes.
industrial park.
Yes, sir.
That when I found out that when you come at your business and they give you, say you get a grant for some property or you get a spot, then they have people that they sit with you to help you do your business plans. Some other people that sit with you in that. This is a government agency.
Yes, sir.
These are services that you don't pay for. I was blown away when I found out that they have these people, and when and we didn't even need it, but they directed me there, and it felt like, and I really just let them keep on talking. So I just wanted to see the movie, and I was like, man, this is amazing, bro. I said, no, I need it, but I just said, he said, Bishop, why you let me go through this? I said, I really wanted to see I wanted to see where this was going, and I was so impressed. And I agree that the church needs to, if we have the information, pass it on. But the church needs to inspire people to go find fire.
Agreed.
You got to go knock on some doors. You know what? You need to take that dollar, and rather than go into McDonald's for breakfast, go to get you a tuna and grits, take $1 and buy you a Tribune or buy you a Guardian. To read, to see what's in there, to see what's happening. We need to do that as well with our people, because there are some opportunities there that are available. I can say this now that was some time back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know I used to be on the screening committee for Life Key Foundation
Got you.
for several years? Well, you know, it's hurt my heart that the vast majority of scholarship applicants was from private schools.
Okay.
That used to bother me. And I started talking to people in the church I went to, everything like that. Like, do you know that
Do you know what's out there?
y'all even in applying for these scholarships? That thing was bothering me. When I look at this, I won't call some last names that I see who applying, because there's certain last names that we know.
You know
the families.
that money. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm saying, like, what? Why are they applying for these scholarships?
Why don't they know? Here's the question. Why don't they know?
But I do remember seeing them things said in high school too. We wasn't paying attention.
That is true.
And I'm sure you heard about Life Key scholarships when you was in school.
I did.
Did you apply for one?
No.
Okay. Exactly.
I remember my GP was up there to apply for one.
You were smart, but you was up there. Don't blame me. So, I mean, and there are persons who saw it, and I don't even know if it still exists now. I honestly don't know.
Life
It probably
Key
does.
Foundation? It does.
The scholarship, I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
I just
Yes.
I said that for plausible deniability. That's why I said it. So I don't know that it exists. You said yes. I don't know that it exists.
Okay.
But I do know when I was on it existed. It
Yeah.
used to hurt my heart.
Yeah.
And then as one or two, and I saw names on there, and I saw that because you get a whole file, so you see the people information. You're looking at this, and I'm saying to myself, this is painful for me.
Okay.
And so, again, everybody didn't have a mother like Laura and like your mom does. So Laura used to make us read the paper, make us find out, make us go know what's happening, know what's available to you, know that there are students who are not in UB that could be in UB free right now.
Agreed.
Right now, today, who could be in UB free?
Just on Sunday, I was preaching. I told our church that I grew up in the Baptist church. They said that every preacher should have a Bible in one hand and a newspaper in the next, because we can't be able to speak to pertinent issues if we don't know what's going on.
And every person who needs a job should have a Bible in one hand and
Right.
a newspaper in the next.
Agreed.
Because you have data.
Agreed.
Well, pull down the Guardian or pull down the Tribune or online.
Yeah.
Because you have data.
Yeah.
And if you don't have data, you just go to Starbucks and TV. Don't want to go somewhere else. TV, so you getting online, doing stuff online.
Starbucks, man. You just sitting there.
Sorry, I see TV. Yeah, you just get it. Sorry, it's free. Sorry, but you go wherever you just go to get your internet, so you
all
just be online.
all the parks now have free Wi-Fi as well.
So we got to stop making excuses for people who saying they're ignorant. When you are ignorant amidst knowledge, your problem is not ignorance. Your problem is arrogance.
There's a bigger issue too, Bishop, and we read about it. That it's not only the amount of it's sometimes we're in a society where we are oversaturated with not even negative but irrelevant information. So now we have a lot of people who have access to this information, whether it's the social media, whatever like that. There's an overabundance of information, and they miss the key and relevant points. And so now we have to, like you said, redirect them in the path where they can actually find good quality information.
Yeah.
And that's why we have to make ourselves available.
I love this call from Pastor Hayes. There was a woman who asked our church for money too much. So I told her to clean the church once a week. I told her to ask every church she was asking for help to offer to clean for them. She can now never ask us for money again. I love that. The people in the hood that ask for money, I tell them don't walk past that paper in the yard to ask me for money. He said, so our church yard is now one of the cleanest in the hood. I think they the kind of, I love it, Pastor Hayes. They're the kind of things that we need to teach.
Right.
Like
Personal responsibility.
You get wanting something for nothing.
Yeah.
No, man. No, I have persons, I tell brothers around our church something like that who ain't doing that and they ain't got no job and this and that. I say, come you never come volunteer at the church.
Interesting.
Why you don't ever come volunteer then?
Yeah.
You say you don't do that.
You don't do nothing anyhow. So what you gonna do?
Why don't you come by? Why don't you make me have to pay you? Why don't you force me to have to give you something?
Yeah. And do it with and the thing is, when we talk about this entitlement as well, because I had the opportunity to speak last week to Pastor Monica's church.
Right.
And I told them that every Sunday they go to church, they have at least 500 customers. Minimum. At least 500. Don't just because, and I told them about the power of community, but I said, don't just have an expectation that because you're in a community, they're obligated because you're part of this community
Right.
to help you. If you give, and I brought the thing about Thanksgiving dinner, if you know you can't cook, don't try to sell Thanksgiving dinner.
Come on,
just
man.
because, and then you get mad at that church because they don't sponsor you or they don't support you.
can't cook.
Because you can't cook.
Right.
No, deliver with a spirit of excellence
Right.
and cause them to be your customers, even if they were not your church members.
I had one buddy I had some problems with the law. I had a lot of problems with the law.
He was known to the police.
He had a whole lot of problems with the law.
He was known to the police. Yeah.
Both here and abroad.
Oh boy.
Hallelujah.
International.
Yeah, he's international.
Yeah.
I had an international member. And that brother was in here for months. And Deno, listen to me. I didn't have a dirty car not one day.
Wow.
Every single day, before he could do everything else he's going to do,
Yeah.
he's come by and clean past the car. I used to take care of that boy.
Of course.
He made me take care. If I didn't have it, I used to find to take care of him because that brother, I never asked him to do it. I paid him to wash my car once. And when he realized how close he was to where my cars be, every day that brother stopping by, he said, my pastor need to be fresh.
And you know the thing is, Bishop, the interesting thing is, here's the thing. There's a scripture that says your gift makes room for you. And as you were saying that, it opened my mind to it that when you says your gift makes room for you, the only person that it costs something to is you.
Yeah.
It's free to the recipient, but it costs you something.
Yeah.
But what that cost to you does is it opens a door and creates room for you
Come on, man.
in this next place.
Come on.
So a lot of us are looking for to be paid for something without realizing first, even if you're starting a business, there's some costs that you incur before you go to market. The market, before you get your first customer, you have the first incur cost. And a lot of persons don't want to incur that
That's
cost
good.
to make room for them
Right.
in the space they're in. You have to pay for the room you're going to.
Come on,
And we have to understand that, and we get that in our mind, that just because we're saved doesn't mean that it's automatic for us. We have to pay for the room that we want to go in.
Yes,
And
sir.
every room has a cost. Every different level has a different cost. And normally the cost is you losing who you came to know yourself to be in order to go and accept that new place. And a whole lot of us have that spirit of pride, or we have that spirit of being so stuck in who we were that we never let go of that to embrace new opportunities. And sometimes you have to go down to go back up.
Man, listen, I had to learn as the engineer of me, the professional side of me.
Yeah.
When I'm trying to win clients, I don't charge them for every hour.
No, how?
I don't.
How?
Oh, listen, for this consultancy now, you was here for an hour. I need $200 per hour. No.
Or any part thereof.
Yeah, I had to go. A client and asked me to go with him to a meeting to a certain place, and to go to this meeting because they found out that you do realize, somebody told them, you do realize your engineer is Bishop Denczil Rowley.
Yeah.
They said, what I mean? No. When you go in certain places and you get a pastor or bishop, but you would look a little good.
Oh, okay.
So somebody
I
told
didn't
them
know that.
Apparently.
Okay.
It depends on where places you go in. I ain't tell you where we've been. But based on if I tell you where we've been, you'd be like, yeah, okay. I
Yeah, it
understand.
makes sense. It makes sense.
And so they asked me to come along. I didn't send a bill
No.
because I looking down the road.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, we too myopic.
Yes, sir.
And so we ain't seeing down the road.
No.
And so you say, hey, Pastor, listen, you ain't no slave now. You and your car wash. Listen, that's $20. You can't even wash car. You ain't got no joy. You ain't got no tire shine.
You're serious about this.
You ain't serious about this life. But you tell me, I come in here and I said, I need my $20.
Yes, sir.
That brother said, hey, Pastor, you paid me yesterday. You want to pay me again today? I said, no, bro.
Yeah.
He made me have to invest in him.
Right.
And so I right back, I beating the same drum. That is the most critical role of the church to help in the renewing of the mind.
That is correct.
To help to renew it to have us to thinking the right way. If we start thinking I believe the doors can open. I believe the opportunities are here. Yes, we need, brother government, to open more opportunities, and there are people who need to preach that. To me, that ain't my assignment. My assignment is to preach to us to say, but the opportunities are here. And if only your right hand working, you losing half of your income.
Right.
Because your left hand need to be working too.
Right.
We need to get both of your hands going. We need to be engaging. And in this time where you can't find you a job, you can't find shift, you can't find no other job, that means start working on that next hand. And chances are that job was supposed to be your left hand.
Got you.
Your gifts
Your gift is in your right hand.
I think that should be in your right hand.
And that's where and when you start working your gift, the grace for that gift automatically starts flowing. And it attracts and it draws who you need.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And so you start waking that and start waking that and start waking that. And you'd be surprised to know how that thing starts to right back to this woman with this hot dog stand. Because she is not unemployed. She has a job.
Right. But that's a dream. That's
a
a right hand.
Yeah, that's a right hand.
Yeah.
And that thing driving her.
Yeah.
And so I think the church has to be, we need to create spaces within the church communities, within sub-communities, within our big community, where they can know to get information. I think it is, as I'm talking to you, I think it's important that we have people assigned to find out what's available.
We have to.
Just your job is to help us to let us know what is
What's
available, what is out there. I am not as crazy about getting government grants and things of that nature. I am not a big, me personally, that's just personally me. I'm not a big fan of the government giving money to churches for this and that and that and the other.
I understand. I'm in the same boat.
I got to see what it is, before what is this?
I need to see what all the ties, with all the strings that are attached.
And because we supposed to be, I don't want to preach half the gospel. We supposed to be lending to nations. So why borrowing the government money?
Bible said kings come to us.
Yeah, kings supposed to come to us, and they
and Gentiles come to us.
Yeah, to the brightness of our rising.
Yes, sir.
To the brightness of our rising.
Yeah.
And if they have me to change my light bulb, something wrong with that.
Or they're supplying you with electricity to cut on your light bulb. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I am careful with that, running behind that kind of stuff, And again, we're spirit led. So I mean, say it. We got some land from a certain entity and we gave it back.
Okay.
Lord said, I for you.
Okay.
And we gave it back. That's all I can say about that. He said, no, I for you.
Yeah.
I ain't want you in that. I got you. We're spirit led. And those who got, I ain't trying to knock nobody who got it. That's what Lord tell you, go get your land. Don't be crazy. I just tell you what he told Denczil. Don't fool with that. So we ain't got to talk about the election.
Oh boy.
And we are the time. We didn't be in 90 minutes, boy. That's an hour and 27 minutes. Pastor Hayes, we having problems with the connection with Pastor Hayes, and that's why we lost him, but we're going to bring him back. We're going to get him organized.
Because we got to talk about that.
Because I need to bring some, I don't want to talk about the election without some Americans. I need some American preachers. I called 3-4 of them today. Because I wanted to get one or two of them on. Not just Pastor Hayes, and then we had some challenges, so I can organize it a little better for next week. Because I want to talk to some preachers. And you know what I want to ask before I even, and it's not too late, but I want to ask this. I want to get some Democrat preachers.
Okay.
I hate to say that. It shouldn't be Democrat preachers. We should all be kingdom.
Preachers who support the Democratic Party.
Who support the Democratic Party, yeah. I want to get some of them to explain to me why. And I want to hear from those who voted Republican. I want to find out why. I want to ask a question. Tell me why you did that.
You didn't get push that locally too in 2 years? Too small, Too tight?
You mean for our local? No, I can say this for real. I ain't scared to say this. I had to say this. I can't understand
Go ahead.
voting personality in the United States
Okay,
because the policies are so different.
I got you.
The policies are so different that to me, personality is stay off the board and look at policies.
Okay.
In the Bahamas, I can understand voting
It's a
personalities.
merge. Okay. Okay.
I can understand you voting personality.
Makes sense. And I told somebody that yesterday too. There are too many other bureaucratic steps in the states to go through before something is passed. Over here, we have more authority, or we have more hands-on in how things go in a certain direction.
And then additionally, there is no major
Difference?
in ideology
Agreed.
in this country. There's no major. I mean, there's some different approaches.
Okay. Let's go with that.
Kind of different approach.
Yeah.
But in the U.S., there are different ideologies.
Agreed.
Like totally different ideologies. And over here, it's just which people can get it and which one they can get it. I mean, over here, it's who is better at running the system.
Right.
Whereas over there, it's two different systems.
Right.
Do I trust this one to run the system better than this one? Do I think they can have a better hand on the system? There's no major paradigmatic shift in. And when you talk people of political who are in the game, you say that they get mad at you. But I'm like,
Ain't much difference.
no,
I think that there are some notable things that are different, but we'll talk about that in 2 years.
Like what?
We can talk about that. We can talk about it in 2 years.
We closing the music coming down.
We out of time, but
The music coming down. No, like what? I mean, no, I can.
I get what you're saying. The majority of what it is, it's pretty much the same thing.
It's more who
Yeah, and what their interest
than
is.
what?
Yeah, and it's more what their interest is, or what.
They all get the same interest. You mean who the interest is?
That doesn't mean who.
You say what the interest is. It's different.
Yeah, but-
The what the interest is different from what the who
But
the interest
who
is.
then? Yeah, who the interest is? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain differences. You know, I mean, there's certain things, and some people get offended. I say this, and I like this about the PLP.
Okay.
To me, the PLP celebrates more.
Okay.
I think they celebrate more, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
Okay.
I really don't think that's a bad thing. I think we need to make big deals of certain celebrations. I think, I paid attention as an adult. That's one thing I paid attention to. I know that's simple. That ain't to some people. But you all just want to have fun. I paid attention. I'd be like, you know what? Boy, they right. You know, like when the free national movement is in power. To me, celebrations are downplayed.
Okay.
And some would say, yeah, because we have things that are more important. Boy, but celebration is critical. When old Bishop Demi say, listen to me, man, you need excitement. He said, I don't care how to church, whatever you need.
Excitement.
You need some levels of excitement that
Yeah.
keeps people alive.
Got you.
That
Makes
that
sense.
that keeps joy in the church. That keeps people going and motivated.
Yeah.
You know, and everything ain't excitement. We understand that, right? But don't downplay it as though it has no significance whatsoever.
So serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there seems to be like a greater sense of cultural expression. And I don't know if that has to do with the majority rule thing and all that element of that.
I think so.
And that would be the impetus of that. And so the other party says, I don't want to celebrate that because if I celebrate that, it makes it
And
look,
like make them look. Yeah.
and make them look. I don't know if that's what it is,
Petty.
but to me,
Yeah,
things of that
petty,
nature, to me, I watch this. I thank God the PLP was in power for 50.
Got you.
For-
I remember you saying that.
yeah, and I stand by that.
Yeah.
I don't know if the other they may have, and I love Brother Pindar as my brethren. He's a Church of God boy. I proud all the Church of God boys. And so, and I have a lot of wonderful FNM friends that would be like upset me saying this, but I don't know if we'd getting that big celebration. I don't know if we celebrate. Look at you getting mad. Look at you. I watching you.
I get mad. I agree. I
pick
agree.
something low. That's a low
agree.
thing. And I know they ain't
agree.
that deep, y'all. I know. I intentionally do it deep because Deno don't want to join the conversation. That's why I get something shallow. I ain't gonna go deep because he ain't gonna go deep. There are some deep things, but I won't go on this shallow level.
We go deep things in 2 years.
We can go to deep things. I'll stay lecture, get closer. But I love a good shindig, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
You take it to a party though. Lord.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
I love it, man. You need that.
From the leader down. On both the leaders dance.
Watch this. Mm-hmm. Would you not agree that that is hurting the new church today? Because what the old church was family and community.
Agreed. Totally agreed.
And we so business oriented, we so all business that we have lost that.
Mm-hmm. And now they make it a part of the program. So they spend time saying this Sunday is fun Sunday, and then we go back. When back then everything was fun. I was telling them how when I was growing up, we had this thing in the Bahamas Baptist Union called.
Listen, you PLP. Go ahead, PLP.
Called and back then we used the Bahamas Baptist Union. We had this thing called District. People from teens to their 40s used to come out every Saturday to come to choir practice. Just cause this when we come together, fellowship. That's how the early church grew. Fellowship and eating.
Listen to you.
Had party and everybody else. This week we party at your house.
Yep.
Next week we have what do you call it now? Potluck.
Yep.
Potluck this week.
Yep.
Next week potluck to your house.
It was a way of life.
Yeah.
It was a way. Celebration was a way of life.
Yeah.
I remember one of my members told me the Baptist church she grew up in said every month there was a big birthday cake.
Oh yeah.
And I never saw that in Church of God churches. They said every month. I can say the church. She grew up in Zion, Yamagra.
Got you.
And she said Sam Green.
On the
Sam
Sam Green, yes,
she said, on the
sir.
Sam Green, they had one big birthday cake
Yeah.
every month. So all the birthdays in that month.
Right. And
We
you come up, you
celebrate
dance, you put your little dollar on the people.
I thought that was I mean, those kind of things that we, celebrate. So when people who get interested and say, "Oh, they waste all the money this year," I want you to hear the concept I'm saying, and I'm being very serious about this. The celebration is necessary. Celebration is
now you gotta
necessary.
watch how you spend the money, but celebration is necessary.
Of course.
No, celebration is necessary.
Of
You
course.
need that,
And
particularly during that pandemic time, and you needed that.
We needed
The nation
that.
needed
We
that.
needed that.
We need a breath
exhale.
of fresh air. See, same thing I was gonna say.
Yeah,
We
we
needed that breath of fresh air.
and understand this that our artists are they are entrepreneurs too,
Totally agreed.
You got there are a lot
And
of
they were
them.
not working during pandemic, so this is a
Okay.
good catch up.
Okay,
Yeah,
and we needed that,
we did.
and I don't know if it would have been at that level if it was. I don't think it would have been.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean the truth is the truth.
It
You
is
know,
what it
I
is.
mean, now sometimes sometimes you could argue that you could pull back 1, 2, or 3 million.
No, we busting this. We busting a hole in this.
You ain't gotta use the whole thing.
No, we go and we can borrow some more and we can figure out where we get that from
Right.
next. Yeah,
I forgot, but look at Denczil say we needed Christmas downtown.
Right.
No, listen to me.
We needed that. No, we needed that. Psychologically,
we
emotionally.
needed. I
we
went
needed that.
downtown. I said, yes,
Yeah, we needed
yes, we
needed
needed that.
that. We needed that.
You know,
Agreed.
and even though some other people was rowing about it, I was like, y'all might be quiet.
And the extravagance of that, we needed that.
You tried to throw shade with your extravagance. Yes, we needed it.
No, we
you
needed
was
that.
trying to be dirty. That,
I know, I
the
tried
way
to
you
throw
know
shade.
you was trying
No,
to throw
agreed.
by
No,
saying
we needed
extravagance.
it
You was
big.
trying to
We
be
needed it
petty
big.
just now.
How?
You was trying. That was dirty.
How?
say we needed the extravagance.
We needed it. We needed it. No. I got you.
When I took my children down to Pompey Square and they see
And
them,
you
that
had,
they light up.
more than downtown. You had downtown, Western Esplanade. You had the whole strip.
Deno, you being dirty. You throw it.
I know.
You throw it
No,
shit.
but that was good.
You throw it.
You even drove through the thing with all the deer on the side of the road. You like it was big.
I can't tell if Deno being serious.
It was-
Deno throwing shit.
No, you needed that. You needed that because you had 2 years and nothing.
Nothing.
Not even you know how sweet Jungle sounded. Even
I ain't get the Jungle because
even for the holiness people, Jungle was sweet. Right.
Church goes out there too. Church goes out there. All the Pentecostals are out there. The apostolics, everybody was out there.
Everybody was. Out
I ain't getting to that part. I'm talking about. Listen to me. I every dollar they spent on all them light and all them things they
I
had out there.
appreciated it.
I applauded it. I supported
And
it.
I want more. I want to come back with more. I need that because I grew up with a childhood where you felt Christmas. Children feel Christmas.
I was
now.
disappointed when they pulled back. I think it was last year they pulled back. They didn't give me all the things they gave me the year before.
Right.
Because 2022, good God Almighty,
That big tree boy.
I was like, yes.
Yeah.
We went downtown, took pictures with Nye and Denny. Then we walked through the little thing they
It
had
was
set
so
up.
good. They changed the tree twice. Like it was like it was good. It was good. Like that was Christmas.
You know, you dirty Mexican.
Ross's Square was lit. It was good. I loved it.
I don't know. Deno throwing shade, but I'm serious.
I know
Deno,
shit. No, I
I am
appreciated
totally
it.
serious. I enjoyed all of that.
I appreciated it.
enjoyed all the lights, and I think we needed that. We
Yeah.
had a lot
We
of
needed
things going on, and actually,
that.
you know, one of the things that I asked for, that I spoke about, I sat on the 50th celebrations.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to get them to peel off another 10 or 12 million.
I believe you.
And let me tell you why I wanted it. I wanted it to go. And I say it another because I don't know what the budget was. I don't know what the budget was. And I didn't even want to find out. But I wanted to get some of those celebrations in the inner city.
And I think this
I
was the
wanted-
first time that they had like in with the park name.
She did Windsor Park. She did.
Not just Windsor Park.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
name? Blow Road.
Blow Road. Yeah, yeah. They did.
They had that. They had.
Her Excellency Leslie Bryce did an
She did.
amazing job. I was trying to see if we can get some parades in the inner cities to get some things to give. I mean, and they did a lot of things in the inner city. I was fighting to get some more because I think we needed that.
I think even the police bands just come in the city and block off some roads, and you needed that.
I was trying to get as much as
needed
that, and I think we still do.
yeah,
I think we still do.
because our culture is, when you look through the Caribbean, like they know how to celebrate culture and celebrate life and celebrate that. That's one of the things that we are kind of missing in.
But what I was hoping was that my whole idea was that we used it during the 50th to begin a movement.
Okay.
Because the whole idea of 50 was bringing the sense of patriotism, the sense of self and loving yourself as a Bahamian.
Yeah.
So my thought was that, and I don't want to say just my thought, because they were shared. Everybody agreed. It was shared around the table that if we can begin a movement with this whole idea, because if senior man realized what it is to be a Bahamian and the privilege and the blessing is to be a Bahamian, he can think twice before he grab that gun to shoot another Bahamian.
Agreed.
That kind of thing, that we use it and actually go into the core areas where all the violence is, go right in the midst of it, and go door to door giving out flags.
And have relief some of that pressure, because that pressure is what boys pipe.
Give bad boy a flag.
Yeah.
That same boy who lip
But that's
black,
something.
who I read is, you walk in the street, you go to him, but give him a flag and give him something. As silly as that is, because he can, no matter how wild and crazy that boy is, he remember when he's in grade 3 and he had one flag in his hand.
Yeah.
That can do something to him.
Yeah.
So let's take flags and take the shirts, all them shirts that we got printed, give it to them. Give them shirts, give them a flag. Just do that, and just that you can never quantify or qualify the effect of that.
And it need not be tried to be qualified or quantified.
Right.
Do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
So they the kind of things, and it seems extremes, and it seems like a waste of somebody because it's not fixing a pipe, it's not paving a road, but those intangibles is what change the lives of persons.
And then when you change their lives, then those people go back into those inner cities and they change
Bingo.
the city.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So let's throw a party.
Might as well. What coming next? What are you doing? Something next we got to find to celebrate.
Hey, we can find something.
We can find something.
It'll be something to celebrate. You mentioned about energy reform, but there's the energy summit is going on, and there's some wonderful conversation that I heard in my the time I was there this morning.
Awesome. See,
They have
is that
some-
open to the public or is that a private?
But I saw a lot of people was there. they have a big section in the ballroom.
Okay.
There's a lot of delegates there. Now I don't know if it's paid. I really don't
Gotcha.
know. I was invited there to share, so I don't know all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But it was the agenda, the whole approach, the opening by the Prime Minister and by Minister Joe Beth, the things that they're doing now and they intended to do in the future. I love it.
Awesome.
I love it. I think it's a step in the right direction.
Well, let's work it.
And I pray that it keeps on going, because if they follow through on what I'm hearing, what I heard today, and based on what I'm hearing, things are happening now.
Okay.
People, their feet on the ground now.
Okay.
It's not just this pipe dream, but they're actually feet on the ground.
Okay.
They're feet on the ground now, and I believe we're well on our way to true energy reform.
I used to in church. I just want the musician come in. You just do this. Just do this.
No.
Right. Let's do this. You know what I mean?
Every once in a while I do that, but now, when I was young, I used to do that. I old now. Play Alan.
Right. I said, let's ride.
I ain't having them fancy.
That's right.
Them fancy signals. Them fancy signals now. Now I just play.
So y'all like I said,
play.
let us start.
Let's start. Folks, thanks so much for joining in, man. You have been a wonderful audience here. Please share the link. Tell everybody, but more than talk. Pastor Rickeno could not be here tonight because there is a service happening tonight, a launch of a movement there at, is that Living Waters?
Living Waters.
Is that Living Waters? And so he could not be here tonight. He sent his apologies. Prayerfully he'll be back. I know he's traveling. I believe he's traveling next week as well. He may be back on Thursday, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. So hopefully we'll be back. We'll be back on Thursday no matter what. But I'm hoping Pastor Rickeno will be with us. Of course, Pastor Keno. He sent a video out tonight. I can now solicit your prayers for Pastor Keno. We're praying for him that he has some things that I think it's a procedure coming up real soon. The video was out circulating, so I wouldn't have said otherwise. But I saw the video out. Some people shared it with me that he shared with his church that he is having a procedure done, and we're praying for his quick recovery.
Yes, sir.
We have yet to see the four of us together. I believe in God before Santa come down. Wherever he's go down, whatever
or before they put the lights on Bay Street.
Before they put the light on Bay Street. And we want all the lights. Whoever's put the light, we want all the lights. All the lights. And I in the Deno with all of this, all this shady throwing. I want. Marisa, you been to see the lights 2 years ago? You been to see the lights? 2 years ago. He throwing shady in like them. I told him I like that. I was talking about the things.
Oh boy!
I was talking about the things that
Tell the truth.
that the Progressive Liberal Party does to make a big deal of the certain things. And I told him I think that's necessary.
I agreed with you.
He throwing.
I agreed with you
in a very shady way.
I agreed with you.
He said, "Yeah, all the lights that they had way from Araki, all the way. Yeah, man, do all the lights, do all the extravagance." And he played like he agreed. No,
I agree.
Huh?
I agree.
I just ain't say it. But anyway.
No, that next party got light now. Plenty light. Go ahead. You close right there.
Good night, everybody. We going. Have a good one. Yeah, we going. We grateful. I going.
Expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production of Glory 93.